What are some facts about ancient Greece? You might have a basic understanding of Socrates, Pericles, drama, and the sciences.
Your understanding might even extend to mythology about legendary heroes and gods from antiquity.
But how much specific information about Greek daily life do you know? Here is a compilation of fascinating details about the outstanding ancient civilization that you probably didn't know. Number 1. Wine used to be diluted with water in ancient Greece. Ancient Greek civilization was centered on wine.
Even the pantheon contained the god Dionysus,
the wine god. However,
being intoxicated was regarded as arrogance among mortals.
It was a practice best left to the barbarians.
Only the god Dionysus was thought to be able to consume wine devoid of water without becoming intoxicated. The mortal men could get aggressive and lose their heads if they did not water their wine. Reminds you of those Saturday evenings when you were younger,
doesn't it? What did they do then? They were rehydrating their wine with water. They could consume a large amount of wine in this manner without getting intoxicated, or at least that was the plan. In the winter,
they would put snow in their cups to conserve water.
The typical serving would be equal parts wine and water. Number 2. All ancient Greek monsters had a single mother. The majority of well-known monsters from Greek mythology shared a mother. Mother of the monsters, Echidna, was a hybrid of a woman and a snake. Echidna and Typhon, a monstrous serpentine giant, and her mate, attempted to dethrone Zeus as the ruler of the universe. Zeus was able to destroy them with the help of his thunderbolts,
and as retribution,
he buried Typhon beneath Mount Etna. Echidna and her offspring survived to confront numerous subsequent heroes. She had several descendants, including Cerberus, the three-headed dog of Hades, keeper of the underworld, Lernaean Hydra, the serpentine water monster slain by Hercules, Chimera, the fire-breathing hybrid creature, treacherous Sphinx, who would kill anyone who gave the wrong answer to her riddle, and Scylla, the legendary beast that devoured many members of Odysseus' crew during his adventures in Homer. That was the time. Number 3. The Greeks of antiquity used stones as toilet paper.
Many people might be surprised to learn that there was no toilet paper in ancient Greece. Before toilet paper was developed, people from many civilizations around the world used an almost limitless number of items. It consists of sponges fastened to rods, water,
tree leaves, corn, coconut shells, sheep's wool, and sails, for those who could afford it. But it may be argued that the ancient Greeks are what set them apart. They utilized stones, pebbles, or ceramic bits for certain hygienic functions. Remembering this advice will be helpful if you ever find yourself camping in the woods or at a beach without any paper. Number 4. Ancient Greeks could have been partially colorblind.
The Mediterranean Sea is referred to as a wine, dark sea by Homer in his two well-known works, the Iliad and Odyssey. Have you ever thought that the sea is the color of a claret when you stare at it?
Homer utilizes the same colors to describe items that appear very different while simply naming a few color phrases. Mark Bradley, an associate professor of ancient history at the University of Nottingham,
claims that color functioned in antiquity substantially differently from how it does today. He claimed that the Greeks understood color to be an object's apparent exterior shell.
So that it wouldn't be red, the fire was colored like fire. It would have the color of dirt. The skin would be colored like skin, and the sky would be colored like the sky. They wouldn't abstractly discuss the colors we do today. Number 5. The Greeks used two methods to measure time. The phrases chronos and kairos were used by the ancient Greeks to describe two different concepts of time. The first one alludes to time as we currently understand and measure it, or chronological time. The latter designates a suitable or advantageous moment for action. In other words, the ideal moment to take action. Kairos is qualitative in character as opposed to chronos' quantitative nature. Kairos was regarded as one of the most fundamental rules of the cosmos by the ancient Pythagoreans. Kairos is a key component of Aristotle's rhetorical strategy. The time and place environment in which the proof will be presented is what he means by kairos. Number 6. Ancient Greek males displayed their status quo through their hair. A man's beard represented his status.
Men competed with one another over who had the best grooming, therefore having a good hairdresser was extremely valuable. The beard was regarded by the ancient Greeks as a mark of knowledge and manliness. The cowards were punished by having some of their beards shaved by the Spartans. They valued the human body's hair as the most precious resource because they thought it provided the deceased with energy for their journey to the underworld.
However, the ancient Greeks did not view hair loss as a bad thing. On the contrary, it demonstrated their intelligence. Because of this, most statues of philosophers have bald heads. Witty fact: when you visit Greece, you'll undoubtedly notice that the vast majority of Greek men still have beards today, a practice that dates back thousands of years.
Number 7. Ancient Greek women dressed up like modern women do now. Women in ancient Greece gave a lot of thought to how they looked. They used a hot iron to create curls to their blonde hair after coloring it. They used tweezers to remove their eyebrows, painted their faces white with lead carbonate, and used mineral and plant colors to highlight their features, especially their eyes. The selection of women's accessories was complemented with bronze mirrors, ivory combs, miniature perfume bottles, alabaster, and jewelry and cosmetics storage boxes, pyxides. Waxing was another common occurrence for them. They utilized creams, stones, tweezers, and razors made of flint.
Number 8. A lot of the ancient Greeks were superstitious.
Greeks of antiquity were extremely smart but also deeply superstitious.
Their daily lives included a significant amount of superstition.
They would avoid major duties like marriage or sowing on certain days of each month because they were thought to be foreboding.
Before performing some chores,
they would also take precautions to avoid upsetting the gods.
Taking the example of crossing a river after offering prayer. One belief, meanwhile,
has persisted in Greece until this day: the alleged evil eye. Greeks continue to have the belief that jealousy and good or bad envy can lead to someone casting an evil eye on another person.
Yawning, a severe headache, and dizziness are signs of the evil eye. The good news is that by performing the specific counter ceremony,
the spell can be broken.
Witty fact: Greece still holds on to the belief of the evil eye.
Most vehicles have an amulet in the shape of an eye hanging from the rearview mirror to protect the occupants.
Many Greeks wear bracelets that resemble eyes. Number 9. Sexual performance enhancers were employed by the ancient Greeks.
The best old Viagra was made of honey and pepper.
There were several preparations used in antiquity to enhance men's sexual function. Some of them allowed them to receive stimulation on an ongoing basis.
One of the most popular and efficient combinations was honey and pepper. The male would apply the concoction to his penis and massage it.
Superior to Viagra? Certainly less expensive. Number 10. Pregnancy tests were also used in ancient Greece.
Pregnancy tests are not a contemporary invention.
The way the ancient Greeks determined whether a woman was pregnant was somewhat peculiar. Overnight, they would place a garlic clove in the woman's vagina. The following morning,
if she wasn't pregnant, her breath would smell like onions. For the stench to reach the woman's mouth,
the woman's tomb had to be unobstructed if there was no child. However, based on our best assessment, this test was probably not very accurate. However,
the great physician Hippocrates also believed that administering honey with water may provide trustworthy outcomes.
Before going to bed, the woman would drink a glass of water with diluted honey.
If she woke up with cramps and bloating, the test was positive.
Did you find the information about the ancient Greeks interesting? Give your response in our comments section below, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for future updates.